The Trump Presidency, a Critical Look. Introduction. For 4 years, the United States was led by a figure who promised to make America great again. But what was the true cost of that promise, particularly for the backbone of our nation, the middle and lower classes? And what about the very foundation of our democracy, the U.S. Constitution? This video will delve into the economic realities faced by everyday Americans under the Trump administration and examine the numerous instances where his actions allegedly challenged the rule of law and the Constitution. We will also explore the unsettling frequency of alleged falsehoods emanating from the highest office. Economic impact, the middle and lower class. President Trump's economic policies were often touted as beneficial for all Americans. However, a closer look reveals a more complex and often troubling picture for the middle and lower classes. According to the Brookings Institution, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, or TCJA, was designed to stimulate the economy. Yet, analysis suggests its benefits disproportionately favored the wealthy, with projections indicating that by 2027, the entirety of its advantages would accrue to the richest Americans. This left the middle class potentially worse off in the long run, facing the prospect of future tax increases or spending cuts to offset the burgeoning federal deficit. Oxfam America further highlights how the administration's policies exacerbated inequality. The imposition of tariffs, for instance, was framed as a protective measure for American industries. However, Oxfam argues that these tariffs effectively attacked the global working class, leading to increased costs for basic necessities and potentially deepening economic disparities. Budget proposals that sought to cut vital programs like Medicaid and food assistance, while simultaneously renewing tax breaks for the ultra-wealthy, painted a clear picture of a pro-billionaire agenda. The Wharton budget model corroborated these concerns, projecting that Trump's tariffs could lead to significant financial losses for American households and a reduction in long-term GDP and wages. The Economic Policy Institute also documented how various actions by the Trump administration negatively impacted workers' pay and eroded working conditions, including the dismantling of regulations designed to protect them. It's important to acknowledge that some sources presented a different perspective. For example, Yahoo Finance and geobanking rates reported that the TCJA did lower tax rates for middle-class households, leading to increased take-home pay and a doubled standard deduction. They also noted a rise in median household income between 2017 and 2019, attributing it to deregulation efforts and the TCJA's incentives for work, saving, and investment. However, the overarching narrative, supported by numerous analyses, suggests that while some temporary gains might have been observed, the long-term trajectory of Trump's economic policies leaned towards benefiting the affluent, often at the expense of the middle and lower classes. The question remains, at what cost did these policies come, and who truly bore the burden? Constitutional challenges and broken laws. Beyond economic policy, the Trump presidency was marked by frequent accusations of undermining the U.S. Constitution and breaking established laws. These weren't isolated incidents, but a pattern of behavior that raised serious concerns about the integrity of our democratic institutions. The House Committee on Appropriations, controlled by Democrats, outlined numerous instances where they alleged President Trump violated the law. These included the impoundment of congressionally appropriated funds, effectively seizing money allocated by Congress for various programs. There were also accusations of firing federal prosecutors and other federal professionals without cause, and the dismissal of inspectors general, independent watchdogs crucial for government oversight. Furthermore, the administration was accused of signing a series of illegal and unconstitutional executive orders. The American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, pointed to instances where Trump allegedly undermined congressional authority, such as in attempts to subpoena his private financial records. The Brennan Center for Justice highlighted an executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship, which a federal judge later deemed blatantly unconstitutional. The January 6th committee and various news outlets have also highlighted allegations of obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and even inciting or aiding an insurrection. Many lawsuits against the Trump administration hinged on alleged violations of federal laws like the Administrative Procedure Act, the Privacy Act, and the Impoundment Control Act. Even the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, accused President Trump of violating the U.S. Constitution and federal law by allegedly using the military as a personal police force against American citizens. The Ohio Capitol Journal reported that the Trump administration violated court orders to unfreeze federal funding and issued an unprecedented number of executive orders. The sheer volume of legal challenges, with over 80 lawsuits challenging Trump's executive orders for violating federal law and the Constitution, underscores the pervasive nature of these concerns. The tally of truth, alleged falsehoods. Perhaps one of the most striking aspects of the Trump presidency was the sheer volume of alleged false or misleading statements. Fact-checking organizations meticulously documented these claims, providing a stark record of the administration's relationship with truth. The Washington Post fact-checker, a reputable source for verifying political statements, reported an astonishing figure: a total of 30,573 false or misleading claims made by President Trump during his 4 years in the White House. This wasn't merely a matter of occasional misstatements. It represented a consistent and pervasive pattern of alleged dishonesty that permeated public discourse. This number, over 30,000, is a testament to the unprecedented nature of his rhetoric. It raises fundamental questions about accountability, the role of truth in governance, and the impact on an informed citizenry. Conclusion and call to action. The legacy of the Trump presidency is complex and multifaceted. While some may point to certain economic indicators as successes, a deeper examination reveals significant challenges